Hi everyone, it's Stacy. Thank you for joining me. I hope this video finds you well. As we continue on with our series involving the book The Yamas and the Niyamas by Deborah Adele, remembering that they're just some guidelines, some tools to help us to move through our days and to sometimes just deal with life. And so today we're talking about Satya, which is truthfulness. And it's Satya, if you want to know how to spell it. And that is just how do we show up on a daily basis, being truthful with ourselves and what we need in order to live our best lives. So we'll meet you on the mat, lying back, however you find best for you. And as we just come to this moment of peace and tranquility and quieting of the mind and the body, a quote from the book: living the life that cries to be lived from the depths of our being frees up our energy and vitality. We benefit, and everyone around us benefits. So as we find our own sense of truth as we lie on the mat, checking in with what our day was like, honestly recognizing the good and the bad, and just connecting with that breath, the breath in, the breath out. Perhaps we notice the sinking of the back into the mat, the gentle opening of the shoulders, whatever your experience is at this time. And we're going to do a little equal ratio breathing. So that's just breathing in the same amount as we breathe out. So I like to put my hands on my low belly, but you place yours wherever you like. We're going to breathe in for 4 and out for 4. If we can, breathing deep down into that belly, or just ever the breath finds you today. So as we inhale together, breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathing out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do that again. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathing out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathing out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And then we'll just place those hands down to our side as we sway the legs side to side, noticing the low back, maybe the hips. And remember, it's your practice. So listening to your body, going as far as you feel comfortable, and honoring the truth that your body is telling you today. So as we go side to side a few more times, and we come back through center, we'll go ahead and just hug those knees into the chest one at a time, hugging them in, rocking side to side, elbow to elbow. Circling the ankles if that feels nice. We can even extend the feet all the way up in the air, a little bit more length, and circling the ankles. And then we'll release those knees back down to the chest. And let's leave that left knee hugged in and that right leg all the way out. Just have a moment to stretch through that extended leg. And then when you're ready, we'll switch our legs out. Right knee comes in, left knee goes out. And it doesn't matter. We're going to do both sides. So just alternating, hugging one knee in, extending the other out. Now as we add in that breath, Maybe breathing in as we draw that knee in, exhaling as we change. But just finding your own rhythm, not worrying about an exact breath, but just remembering to breathe. And let's do just a few more times, warming up the hips. And we'll meet back with both of those knees into our chest and remembering to reach low enough on the body so we're not adding more tension to the shoulders by reaching up too high. So maybe we slide those hands closer to our buns and allow ourselves some relaxation through the back body, the shoulders, circling the ankles a few more times. And then when you're ready, we're just going to roll on to that favorite side, pressing up with that top hand, always adding in those good body mechanics. And let's come to all fours. And as we shift our weight side to side, finding knees underneath of the hips and widening our hands, let's press into one hand and take the other hand, gently circling the wrist, appreciating the pops and cracks that come with movement. And then we can switch to the other side. So taking as much time as you need to move side to side, caring for those precious wrists. And as we melt down, we're going to keep the hips high today and melt the upper body down into our melting heart posture. And it might feel good like this. You might want to turn palms up if that feels better. You can also draw the elbows closer to the body. And then if we can, wherever we are, releasing the head down, rolling temple to temple. Allowing ourselves to release some tension. And then we'll draw ourselves back to that all fours. And then let's walk the hands closer to the body, close to the legs, came up on the knees. Remember, you can always pad your knees if that feels more comfortable for you. And let's open the hands, inhale. This is our flying cow. And then as we exhale, we're going to send the hips back into our child's pose, where hips go back to heels. And then as we sweep the hands back up, inhaling into our flying cow, exhaling hips to heels into our child's pose. So moving between those two postures, choosing to stay in one if it feels better. Let's do about two more as we lengthen the spine into an upright posture, and then come into our child's pose. And we're going to meet back in that child's pose. Always the option to take big toes together, knees wide, if we need a little bit more room. And let's slither our way down to this final child's pose, really allowing ourselves to find the position. And we can always also bring the block in if that is helpful to give us some support. Let's take about 2 breaths in our child's pose. And then as we bring knees back under hips, shoulders over wrists, let's extend those feet back as we move strongly through our plank and exhale into our downward facing dog. Pressing through the heels, you might even feel like twisting at the waist to free up some space in the pelvic region. And then when we're ready, looking between those hands, let's start to journey our way all the way up to that forward fold. The block there available again if you need it as we exhale, especially condensing our body, that belly toward the thighs, releasing the head, shaking yes and no, freeing up tension from our neck. And then as we slide the hands up the shins, pulling the shoulders back, that monkey pose or halfway lift. On our next exhale, sliding hands back down the body. Taking our time walking ourselves to an upright posture where we roll our shoulders back and we meet in that mountain pose. Grounding through the feet, lifting the spine up tall. Let's just take a few breaths of awareness and asking ourselves, can we move through this practice honoring our body that we have brought to the mat today, truthful and honest with what we are working with today. And then as we sweep our arms overhead, finding those palms together at our heart center as we sit back into our chair pose, sweeping arms overhead as we inhale. Exhale, sitting back into that chair pose, moving through your own chair. If knees are sensitive, an offering of a forward fold instead of chair pose, coming into a tall, tall mountain and a forward fold if that feels better. I'm going to stick with the chair flow, but you do whatever you like. Let's do about 3 more. Well, come here, Oliver. Oliver is joining us today. Well, his meow is joining us. And we'll do 1 more time. We'll meet back up in that tall mountain, hands extended, space in the spine. And then let's soften the arms into our cactus, our goalpost arms. Finding a gentle standing cat-cow, bringing arms toward one another as we round the back, opening the hands as we feel some extension. So as we exhale, inhale, moving through our standing cat-cow. And as we find 1 more time, and then let's shake those wrists down, back into that mountain pose. And remembering that just opening the palms allows us to open the shoulders and open our heart space. So if we found our mountain pose, we're going to step that right foot back and come into warrior 2. Our front toes aligning with our knees, rolling onto the blade of that back foot. We soften our face as we extend the arms out. Just imagine they're right on a shelf. So we're supported, avoiding any tension, but we're supported. We find the breath as we gaze forward. Your own natural inhale and exhale. Now as we slide that front hand, opening that front palm and lifting into our reverse warrior, softening that upper arm if that feels better. And as we reverse the arms into our side angle pose, that top arm finding length from fingertip to blade that outer foot. And then your choice to flow between our reverse warrior and our side angle pose or staying in warrior two. Oftentimes when we find a natural flow, it eases the mind and allows the breath to find some rhythm. Wherever you are, whatever you've chosen, we're going to meet back in that reverse warrior, reaching for what we need. Strong warriors. And we'll bring ourselves back to hands at our side. Let's pick up that back heel, rotate on the ball of the foot, and take your time stepping all 10 toes to the top of the mat. Let's step that left foot back. Same thing, other side. We'll come to our warrior two. Sides might feel different, and that's all right. As we extend the arms out long, fierce warriors gazing, settling the mind. And as we open that front palm, reaching forward and lifting into our reverse warrior, choosing the best position for our hands today. And then switching into that side angle pose, front arm coming down, that left arm extending all the way up, fingertip to blade of the outer foot. And now that choice again to flow, to hold, to make the pose your own. And wherever we are, meeting back in that reverse warrior one more time, we might soften that shoulder of that right hand. And we'll release those hands back down to the hips. Lift that back heel, roll onto the blade of the foot, and take your time coming to our mountain. Let's flow one more time through that chair flow. Inhaling our hands open, finding palms at our heart center as we send the hips back, flowing through chair or that forward fold. One more time. We'll meet back in our chair or forward fold. Heart is lifted, our lever is short right here at our heart center to protect the low back. And whatever we've chosen, if we're already in that fold, we'll stay there. If we're in our chair, we're going to walk our hands down, find that forward fold, and let's sway the hands back toward the heels, releasing any tension from the neck and shoulders. And then we'll just bring ourselves down to our knees and shift over to our bottoms, feet at the top of the mat. So our feet about hip width apart, hands supporting us behind. And as we press into the hands, lifting our heart space up out of the pose, shifting our legs side to side. You can think of one knee going toward the opposite ankle. And as we balance between our sides. We come back through center. Let's walk our hands up. It's kind of wide leg. Give ourselves a little hug the best we can. And then open ourselves back up. And we're going to extend that left leg out, tucking the right foot in. And if knees are sore, we can always support this bent leg. Now, as we have our left leg extended out to about this 45-degree angle, we're going to take the left hand, travel down to that ankle as we pull the right back. And we might extend this right arm over. Opening our side body. And then coming back through center. Let's just switch out the legs. Right leg goes out, left leg tucked in. As the right hand travels down that extended leg, drawing the left shoulder back. Perhaps we lean this top arm over, or we can even just leave the arm tucked in and open our side body. And we'll come back through center. Beautiful job. Let's go ahead and move on to our backs. Rocking side to side, hip to hip. And then placing those feet back down. Hands alongside, taking an opportunity to square the hips and the shoulders. And as we press with the feet, inhale, lifting the hips into bridge pose. Exhaling as we roll the spine down. Taking your time, moving through your own bridge. Let's do about 2 more times. And after that last time, stretch the legs out in front of you long, float the arms overhead, a big breath in. Exhale, let it all go. Let's do that one more time, reaching long. Exhale, let it all go. And finding your way to hands down beside you or on your side, however you'd like to be in final relaxation. And softening our body into the space below. Softening the muscles of the face, the neck and the shoulders, the low back, the pelvis, the buns, all down our legs to our toes, our authentic true selves, taking the time we need to find stillness. Now please feel free to pause the video and take the time you need. When you're ready, we'll draw the knees back into the chest. Roll to our favorite side and press ourselves all the way up. I thank you all for allowing me to be part of your day. I hope it offered you a little bit of what you needed. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. And may you find peace and ease. Namaste.